just to see what all the fuss was about.
There are 1,500 followers of Doctor Who this July weekend in New Orleans. Many who have traveled literally thousands of miles for a chance at an autograph or to pose a question.
Whose idea was it in the Mark of the Rani to have the master kicked in the cloisters?
Lest one think this unique, the New Orleans Panopticon is but one of many such gatherings that recur around the nation. In fact, Doctor Who is a worldwide phenomenon, as it is broadcast in 54 nations around the globe, and its viewers number around 100 million. It is in this country, however, where Doctor Who is fast approaching cult status. Ron Katz is the president of the Doctor Who Fan Club of America.
There are 40,000 members to the Doctor Who Fan Club of America, current members, and the highest concentration of them are probably in the East Coast and Midwest, just as it is with the rest of the country's population. We're just starting out pretty much down south here, although we have our number one biggest state, ironically, as a single state is Florida. We're just sort of getting into the South and have done quite well here in New Orleans. There's literally a convention every week, somewhere in the United States, either professionally run or run by a group of fans. Unfortunately, the ones that are run by a group of fans are usually quite financial losers to them. This is actually one that is run by fans, this Panopticon New Orleans, that is a very successful one. And I wish they were all like this one. But there's typically, we do what's called the Doctor Who Festival and Exhibit Tour, and we hit 2 cities every month with that.
Cheryl Duvall is one of the organizers of New Orleans Panopticon.
I really don't know the exact figures, but it was up several $1,000s. I would say at least 12,000, 13,000 altogether. We do it for fun. We do it strictly for fun. It's financed entirely by the memberships as they come in for the convention, and we use what funds are available from pre-registrations to do as much of the preliminary work as possible, and then what's left over, you pay the remaining bills, and if there's a profit, it goes directly to the Sudden Infant Death Syndrome charity, which we thought was a good choice.
Laura Cairo is the founder of a Doctor Who fan club in St. Louis, a club that will host a con of their own in the summer of 1986.
Well, we started off with flyers in a local college and a 15-minute spot on our local PBS station. And we expected 30 to 50 people at our first tentative meeting. 200 showed up. So we immediately knew that St. Louis was a ripe city for a Doctor Who fan club. I think that we're the 3rd largest right now, exceeded by the Companions of Doctor Who running this convention and the DWFCA, or the Doctor Who Fan Club of America. But there are groups with as little as 4 or 5 people, just people who like to get together in someone's house and watch video. Video is a large part of any convention so that you can see the program that you're interested in. Guests are also very welcome because you can get background on the show itself and also background on the actors, and the actors are a large part. Fanzine reading room is nice so people can see what other fans have produced in relationship to the show. A dealer's room is a must. Merchandise of any program that you enjoy is most coveted, and if you don't have some way to buy the books, the magazines, the scarves, people get upset. And
This is all legal here.
Merchandising brings a particularly American flavor to this basically British product. In addition to travel to any number of conventions and any number of faraway cities, there are buttons, books, dolls, and posters to buy, not to mention one's favorite adornment, all of which makes fandom in the world of Doctor Who far from cheap. Ron Katz.
It is kind of expensive to be a fan. You know, there's a lot of product, and people like to buy that product. It is a very lucrative business to be in, as the Doctor Who merchandising product. They seem to be in a pretty good financial position unless they're real good savers, you know, because a lot of people will come here and they'll buy things from us, and I'll notice that they have it very neatly tucked away into an envelope, and they've got different envelopes for different events. It all has to be sanctioned. For the last few years, there's been an awful lot of black market bootleg Doctor Who types of things, and the British Broadcasting Corporation has tightened up very much on that. And as the producers of the show, or the distributors for the show in the United States, have tightened up on that too, Lionheart Distributors. So all the merchandise in this room is basically licensed and royalties paid to the British Broadcasting Corporation.
The latest, and perhaps the ultimate in all of that, is the Doctor Who Cookbook. Written by Gary Downey, the man who, when not leading exercises, plans many of the Doctor Who productions.
Well, why not? Nobody knows what Colin Baker as an actor likes to eat, or what does anybody like eating? You know, they're tasting food. And I happened to mention this, and there was a man sitting next to me and a lady, and they said, "What's this?" And I said, "Oh, I've got this idea about a Doctor Who cookbook." And he turned to her and said, "We'll do it." And he was W.H. Allen, the publisher, and she was his editor. So from just an idea that I hadn't even thought I was going to do it, I just said, "Oh, it'd be a good idea to have a Doctor Who cookbook." He said, "Great." So when I got back to London, I had to start preparing the thing. It took about a year. I started collecting recipes immediately, of course, all the people I had there. That's how it came about. A lot of people want a tape on exercises. So I had an idea, but as there's now a Doctor Who cookbook, maybe it's like Keep Fit with the Doctor or Doctor Who exercises. You can eat whatever you like in the book, and then you can come and do the exercises to get rid of it. I think that's the next thing on the agenda, I think.
Behind all of this entrepreneurial spirit is still the Doctor Who program, and behind it are the fans.
We're dedicated to our favorite show!
So the question then becomes, what is there about a camp, slightly tongue-in-cheek BBC science fiction television program that can incite people to take the plunge into Doctor Who fandom?
Number one, it's British, so that attracted me first, but also the production values, the differences between an American science fiction program, which stresses special effects over characterizations, and a British science fiction program, which really goes for the characters. I think the characters are more important. They can come back week after week when your special effect lasts a few moments and then is gone.
I just like the surprise of seeing what's going to happen next. I like to see the story of the Doctor unfold as it's been doing, a little bit at a time, a surprise here or there, a new twist, a new turn. And I think that people care about the characters on Doctor Who. They care about the Doctor, they care about his friends.
You sit down and you turn on the television and you look at this thing, and after about 15 minutes, you ask the nearest person, what in the world is this all about? And you get into it more and more, and it's very easy. It's real easy to get hooked on Doctor Who, because it's a great show. You know, it covers all aspects of one's own character and personality.